Hello, everybody! Welcome to another exciting episode of Girl Underground on Actual Play. Uh, yeah, it's been a very long 2 weeks, but I hope everybody is practicing their hand washing and social distancing. But we're here online because all of us are. We're always online. So yes, all right. I am Strash. You can find me on Twitter at StrashA. I use he/him pronouns. I'm one of the regular streamers here, and I am excited to both get to control the girl for a little bit and also play Bima, who is one of the companions in Girl Underground. Lauren, how you doing?
Yes, I'm Lauren. I use she and their pronouns. I am at the Stray Kiwi on Twitter, and yeah, holy shit, it's been a really long 2 weeks. It's looked good. I am having feelings about one of the girls' manners being young ladies must never soil their hands with clothes because I feel like that's very topical right now. So I'm interested to see how that's going to manifest today. I'm just very excited to get into this weird wonderland. I co-wrote this game with JC Ross, who's an awesome human being. And I played through still copies at Exalted Funeral, and I think you can find it on Drive-Thru RPG as well. And girlunderground.org is the website that should link you to all those things. Oh my God, Judd, please, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm glad that week is over. The week that was a year is over. Yeah, I'm glad to be through that, and excited to have a week of a week dense with gaming, as Strash and I and Lauren were discussing before we went live. And yeah, my name is Judd, he/him, and yeah, I'm excited to be here. Let's do this. I play Thunderbolt when I'm not playing young Faye, and Thunderbolt is a pig with a boar with tusks.
Very rad. Let's do our little recap for what happened on our wonderful adventure last time. I recall there being werewolves and princes and old ladies and siblings and all that kind of thing.
I can kick us off.
Yeah.
The first part of so 2 games ago, we found a city that had fallen asleep, and we discovered that the wolf was placing them to sleep. And in order to hunt the wolf, we entered the deep dark forest. There were, I think I'm okay calling them cannibal fairies. That they were threatening to eat our boar. I'm not sure it's true cannibalism, but they were very teeth pointy and scary. And Bima went on a minuscule side quest and discovered the wolf's treehouse and discovered that the wolf was actually the prince. Faye, our girl, encountered said prince, made friends with said prince, tried to talk the prince out of being potentially evil, and then, of course, everything came to a head. There was a battle. There were sticks involved. I believe a hide was pried off the wolf, and then we went back to town. And Judd, I'm gonna toss you the recap now.
Yeah, I will catch it. I'm glad you mentioned the feral pointy-toothed fairies, because they were really terrifying, and I would have probably shelved them somewhere where I couldn't find them. So I'm glad you.
Compliment.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad you brought them up. They're worth remembering. We found a house in kind of a fungal forest, as I remember, like giant mushrooms, and there were 2 sisters, but Faye figured out that there was clearly a third sibling, and we found that they had locked their third sibling in the attic. For all of you poor souls who grew up reading V.C. Andrews, that's pretty terrifying. And yeah, we freed the sister, and I think we left, or we freed the sibling in the attic. And I think that the younger scientist sister might have come with us too.
I think she did, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was fun and scary and spooky.
And Thunderbolt took a shit in the evil sister's bed.
Oh yeah, I can
Of course he did.
I'm sorry, it's my favorite part. I know it's gross.
Definitely gross.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, in that case, we should probably pick up where we left off. I think I'll I think I'll kind of hard frame us in like the next location because we kind of ended on like a very grim note.
Yeah.
So I think like Gia, who is the sister that you found in the attic, came along with you. She looks very much like she's a girl on top, and then has kind of like cascading second half that is made up of pages that kind of like flutter and kind of like kind of wing like. They kind of, she sort of doesn't walk, she sort of floats like along the side of the group, and she was ecstatic to take you to like the favorite place that she's read about that she has yet to go and visit, which is the Bazaar. And I think like she leads you. I think we left in the evening. I think she sort of like guides you through the night. She of course like has a reading lamp that she like pulls out of somewhere and like holds it out for everyone to keep the light on during the nighttime. And as you approach the Bazaar, you can see like lights in the distance, and like again very like savory smells like hit your nostrils, like much like the Sleeping City, but this feels exciting when you breathe into your lungs. And you can hear the rattle of like talk as you draw closer, and then as you like sort of break through the darkness into the Bazaar, you can make out lots of like little stalls and like sort of fairy lights strung up. There's a lot of chaotic activity. There are stalls upon stalls, and it looks like it shouldn't stay up, but it does for some reason. And lots of different colors, fabrics, people of all sorts, goblins, really tall, like insect creatures, cloud people. It's just a whole bunch of like wonderment. Let's the scene a little bit. I would like to know, from Faye's perspective, what's one very curious or like enticing thing that catches her eye upon like entering this very strange marketplace?
There's got to be a mask.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Judd, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And I think Thunderbolt is saying as they walk in, the Bazaar, you can buy anything here. This would be a really good place to find someone to help us chase down your shadow. He says to the greatest
Bhima.
thief who ever lived, Bhima.
Yeah, I think Bhima actually, right before Thunderbolt says that, like her hands are twitching and her nose is twitching, and as Thunderbolt starts giving the speech, it's like, this is a great place to find, she says, or steal just about anything. She goes like, smell those smells. Ah, so many good things I can get my paws on. But I think like when you say like when you mention the shadow, she like sobers up a little and kind of like says, you know, Boar, you certainly have a knack for sucking the fun and wonderment out of some things. And she leaps up and sort of like crouches on a stall corner and says like, I guess if it's all business, fine. I guess we can find someone.
I think like Gia, the sort of like sort of does a little like pirouette and then sort of like does this in front of Bina and is like, oh, like don't be so somber and sad. Like this place is like full of joy and wonderment, and you know, like, who cares if you find your shadow or not? Just like live and live on and enjoy the now. You can even go steal something if you want to go steal something. That'd be pretty fun. I've never stolen anything before.
Well, then I know what we're doing. And I think Bhima like hooks a hand through her hand and starts pulling her in some direction.
And she like goes merrily like giggling along the way.
Yeah.
So Judd, if you want, I'll take Faye if you want to play Thunderbolt for a bit.
Cool. Yeah, I think Thunderbolt looks at Faye and says, "What did I say?"
I think Faye just says very quietly. I think Faye says, I think Bhima is just used to never looking behind her. The shadow reminds her of something that was stolen from her, and that's maybe hard for a thief.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that. That's good. Well said, Faye. Anything you want in this place? What do you want to buy?
Oh, I wait. Did we ever get money? I forget. I think we got a. Did we get a? We got some stuff. We got a whistle, and what else did we get from the town?
A map.
A map.
I think it's like you have right now. But I think while you're scanning the marketplace, you definitely set an eye up on a backpack that looks just like the backpack that you lost back in the library before you came through to Wonderland.
I think Faye starts to say, like, I don't know that we have that I have any money that we could maybe trade, and then she like sees the backpack and you know, just before she can stop herself, she blurts out, "Is that my backpack?" And she's like moving towards it, not like at some tremendous speed, but more like shambling through the crowds.
Nice. And I think it's like that moment where, like, as far as you can tell, it's like an empty stall. Like, you could totally yank it if you wanted to. And then, like,
Do we have manners about this? Hang on, let me...
Let's see. Yeah, we have never... Did we do never vex others and just didn't write it, I believe?
Uh-oh. Did we? I don't remember.
But we have never soiled
No,
hands
we did.
or clothes.
We did. Young ladies must never show anger, but we never rewrote
that's
that
right.
one. But
Oh dear. But either way, we have never soiled hands or clothes. Must always wear a smile on her face. Must never vex others. Must put others' needs before their own. And young ladies must respect others' opinions.
we're terrible at homework. We definitely need to come up with a new belief there.
For sure. We can do that. We can sidebar to that now before we approach the
Yeah,
stall.
let's talk about it. Judd, new belief. We confronted some sisters about their misdeeds and showed anger.
Yeah. Made Rose apologize.
That's true.
What do you think is a good belief to write
A good
there?
belief based on that.
Yeah.
Sometimes anger is the only thing that gets things done.
Oh, that's a dangerous lesson. Let's do it.
Excellent.
Or anger feels better than being sad. I don't know, either one.
Ooh, that's an even more dangerous one. Mm. I have a different suggestion. How about sometimes feeling things is better than, or sometimes feeling things, like feeling things is okay, or like not showing your feelings is the same as lying, maybe? I don't know.
Ooh, that's interesting. Because there are a couple about lying, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's an interesting one.
That is super interesting.
Yeah. Nice. Well, you thematically wrangled that one right back into place. That was good.
Heck
I just want to do Incredible Hulk it because I kind of generally like to Incredible Hulk everything. So good.
I love it too because we have this belief that's like sometimes a lie is the only thing to make people feel better, but then not showing your feelings is the same as lying.
Yeah.
So I believe that not showing your feelings sometimes may make people feel better, but you get to decide when that is.
Yes.
But since we have young ladies must not vex others and young ladies must put others' needs before their own. Well, actually, here's a question. I think I take the backpack down and I check it. Is it my backpack?
Oh yeah, well I think like if you go and try and touch it, like a pile of fabric turns around, and you just thought it was just like a pile of fabric, but then like you can see it's a very sludgy looking, like sort of faces melting a bit like wax, with like sort of big hollow like yellow eyes. Like grabs the backpack as you go to snatch it and is like, "No touching the wares. Look, don't touch."
I beg your pardon. I think that's my backpack.
No, it's clearly my backpack. It's on my stall. They sort of like pull it a little bit like closer towards them.
I think you'll find that my glasses are inside that backpack.
Oh, do they have your name on them?
I would like to see how well you see with them on. They're kind of thick and I need them.
Well,
Wait a minute. Do we need a mediator? I can get the mediator if you need it.
why, yes, a mediator sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and I think
What's a
like
mediator?
the mediator clearly has like a capital M, like whatever that means.
Oh, well, actually, you have a move for this, I think.
Yeah, I do. That's I'm leaning into that one because
Excellent.
we talked about how I haven't used it yet. Roll when you name and describe someone important to you who can give you aid or advice.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I think Thunderbolt says you have to keep your cool and plead your case.
I
Ever
love Leo
case?
Thunderbolt.
Go ahead.
Like, yes, this is borderline close to theft, little one.
Nice.
So please go ahead and roll 2d6 or 3d6 if a belief applies, and take the 2 fires.
I am curious, Jeb.
I-
Do you think a belief applies?
Yes, I think several probably do. Yep. Hold on. And rolling. So 3d6 because a belief applies.
If it does,
Which
yeah.
belief?
Yeah, Nate's name and belief, and you can
Um,
roll 3d6. Do what's right, not what you're told.
Yeah, definitely.
Heck yeah.
There we go.
That's not bad.
Oh, nice.
It's technically a 10,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, on a 10 plus. Oh yeah, how do you find them, and why do they owe you? So like, why does a mediator owe Thunderbolt?
Oh, snap! Thunderbolt!
Oh man, because the mediator owes me because I think there was a really bad fight brewing between a few forest animals, like the wolf and the lion, and I helped mediate that. When things were looking really bad, it was looking like a full-on forest war, and I made sure that cooler heads prevailed.
Nice. So you were like the mediator with like a little M, like helping.
Yeah, I was the
Deputy
mediator helper.
Yeah.
I was the deputy mediator. Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. That's really good. And I think like how you find them, you're kind of calling out for them, right? Like
Yeah.
And I think like the sort of C parts of like people in the crowd is like the mediator with a capital M kind of like approaches. I think they kind of do have like a little M shape about them, like sort of very pointy shoulder pads, and they kind of like come in like this.
Nice.
They don't like walk, they kind of like not slither even, they just move across the ground, and you don't see feet or anything. And I think they are wearing a mask. I think it is quite angular, no features to sort of like convey impartiality. And I think like they come to a stop in front of this scene, and you kind of hear in your head a kind of echoic voice that says like, "I was summoned."
Wow. Yes! Your honor? I don't know that Faye knows what the appropriate form of address for a mediator is.
I think the mediator sort of like ruffles a bit with like pride. Like that sounded like it's not a term that they're familiar with, but it sounds important. They sort of like square their shoulders a bit and sort of turn the mask like onto Thunderbolt. Ah, little mediator.
Oh, you're muted, Jed.
How's it going, Em?
Oh, things are adequate. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's not bad. So, This kid's stolen property ended up in the store. This is Faye.
See. Faye, like sort of the mask, like sort of swivels towards Faye and like locks onto Faye. You had, you're claiming this individual stole property from you.
No, I'm saying it's my backpack. It actually does have my name on it. But
It has your name on it.
yeah, I'm sure kids actually have their name on
Oh, yeah, for
backpacks
sure.
when you go to grade school. Or at least back
Totally.
in my day. But yeah, I think Faye points at it and says, I don't know that it was stolen, but it is mine, and I really would like it back.
I think the mediator like swivels that very intimidating mask to like the vendor there who like is still kind of clutching the bag a bit, and they fix the vendor with a look, and the vendor's like, ugh, and then sort of like holds the bag out, and the mediator, I think a hand kind of like appears out from like the silhouette they form, and sort of like flips open the bag mouth. And like sort of sees like Faye written down it, like nods very sagely, then puts it back down, and like the vendor is like shivering, like sort of quaking a bit. And the mediator says, I can see this indeed does have Faye written upon it, and as far as I am aware, oh shoot, what's this guy's name? Grumblefuss. That is not your name. How did you come to acquire such possession? And Grumblefuss is like, well, I found it. Yes, I found it. It's not stolen because it was found. And ownership is 9/10 of the law.
Oh
And
my.
The mediator like seems to consider this a moment. And then you can they don't actually scratch their chin, but you can like sort of get the feeling that they are on the inside. They say, well, this does seem to complicate matters a little bit if it was found and not stolen from somebody. And I think like the big mediator swivels to like the little mediator and says, I know that impartiality is somewhat compromised given your situation, little mediator.
Yeah, I'm in, you know, compadres, road buds, friends. But yeah, I mean, her name is Faye.
Indeed. I think, like, what does Grumblefuss do? I think Grumblefuss.
I think Faye actually asks a bizarre question, which is she looks at Grumblepuss and says, so I think there's a question that nobody asked, which is, what are you willing to part with this for?
Well, I can see this is a very rare, very special artifact. It contains many artifacts within it, including these. I think it pulls out the glasses.
Faye looks around for Bima. Go on.
And then Grumblefuss like sort of sees that. It's like, oh, is this what you wanted? These things? And like sort of goes to put them on, and like their yellow eyes get more like terrifying because they're a lot more like zoomed in.
Mediator, I don't think Grumblepuss is acting in good faith during these mediations.
No. I think the mediator, like the mask eyes narrow at Grumblefuss. And Grumblefuss goes like, and like sort of quiets down a bit more. And the mediator says, Grumblefuss, I recall a time when you were a young vendor who just came to this establishment, this community here, when you had nothing. Then I seem to recall a lot of folks stepped up to help you out. And Grumblefuss is like, well, yeah, but that was a lot. And then he's like, I think in times like these, one needs to turn to community values over facts. when a resolution cannot be made. Would you not agree, Grumblefuss? Grumblefuss is like, well, I'm not sure about that. And the mediator's eyes narrow a little bit more. And they say, I believe you should answer little mediator's question. What is it that you desire that you would give up in exchange for such a position? And Grumblefuss is like, well, maybe that, and sort of points at the map.
This is a map to the Crow King's court, right?
Yeah, like it's sort of like a guide, a way to guide you there, yeah. That looks precious and special.
Jed, what do you think? I feel like maybe we could trade this.
It seems like a lot.
I really like my backpack back. It's pretty much the only thing here from where I'm from, except for me. Also, it has my glasses.
But if, I mean, I'm getting in the way. See, because I'm impartial. I'm partial. If Faye is willing to part with the map, then I guess we have a deal.
I think Faye doesn't hesitate. I think, like, she slaps the map on the counter, grabs the glasses off of Grumblepuss's face, and grabs the backpack and says, "Deal done!"
And I think Grumblefuss, like, takes the map, and then, I think, like, looks giddier than anyone was expecting. And, like, Grumblefuss, like, almost, like, hugs the map, and, like, you can, I think it lets off, like, these little purple sparks, and he, like, breathes them in. It's like, magic!
I hope a rumor doesn't begin that you are not a less than square dealer when in mediation.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm above board. The mediator stepped in and everything, and I complied, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit on your stuff, but I'm not pleased. He walks away. He walks after Faye, who I think is gone, right? Did she walk away?
Actually, I think she has one last thing that she wants to do, which is, she asked the mediator if she can touch his mask.
Oh, cool. I think the mediator, like, has no idea what to do with that question. They, like, blink very slowly and say, why?
I think it's pretty. I want to see how it's made.
And you can feel, like, the mediator fluster a bit.
Yeah, people probably don't ask them if they can put their hands on their face regularly.
I think the mediator says, like, young thing, I have overseen conflicts in this place for many, many, many moons. And in all that time, no one has ever asked me if they could touch my mask.
Who makes them?
Oh, well, I hate to speak I hate to speak ill of people in this place, for it is my role to be completely impartial and to be completely fair and not to hold opinions of people who reside here. But there are one or two mask vendors. And if I were to look at it factually, logically, I would suggest you go and seek Sunbrook. And no one else.
And
There
if
still
you
is a.
weren't
Oh,
to
yes?
look at it factually or logically,
Well, if I went, then I wouldn't be a mediator.
I see.
But I'm sure. Oh yes, please go.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. I'm off to go find Sunbrook's stall
Excellent. You can
with
totally
my
spot
glasses
it.
on.
Oh yeah. What is it? What is it? How does it feel to put your glasses on finally?
And I think Faye's been half disbelieving this world because it's all so fuzzy. It's the first time that she actually sees it clearly, so I think there's a lot of gasps and oohs and ahs, and she occasionally like gets distracted by something shiny hanging off a stall. And what's this for? Oh, what's this for? Yeah, she's channeling just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of Bima, who's probably somewhere eating drumsticks. But yeah, she'll pull it together and look for the stall. It's just, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think it's easy to spot. It's like, well, for one, it has like a lot of masks like hung up around it. It's in a very sunny part. It's evening time. It's a very well lit part of like the bazaar. And when you get closer, you can see Sunbrook. They look very wooden, but move very fluidly. So they have a very sort of pointed chin. You can see like the wood grain on their face, and sort of like painted lips. They're draped in very rich fabrics that seem to slip and slide over their skin as they move around. The stole here, and yeah. How does Faye approach the stall?
With wonder, I think it's probably she wants to be polite and she wants to make a good impression, but it's hard, right? Like it's a kid in a candy shop. It's like, you know, wanting to be an astronaut and ending up at like space camp, right? Like this is exactly the kind of stuff that she's wanting to do herself, right? Like that's kind of what she wanted to be. So yeah, I think she's just more quiet, almost like she's in a library and she's examining the masks very carefully.
Nice. And I think when you lock eyes with Sunbrook, for a second you feel like you see yourself, and you're not quite sure if it's like the reflection of like the polished wood or something else. But her face like feels very familiar. And she sort of turns her head toward you and says like, "Oh, how are you doing this fine evening?"
I'm very well, thank you.
"And who is this adorable friend of yours?" And like gestures to Thunderbolt.
This is Thunderbolt! Thunderbolt's
Hey,
a
what
mediator.
What an exciting name.
I say it with a small M.
And how are you doing this evening, Thunderbolt?
Thank you. I'm. He blushes.
Oh, and I think she seems very charmed by like the blushing boar. It's like, "Well,
Nice.
how may I help you?"
What can you tell us about these masks? I think he wants to like get the attention off of him, so he's just like, yeah.
Well, this is an endeavor of mine that really speaks to my heart, I suppose. I love crafting masks that bring out the inside of people, like not literally, but you know, like what they feel, what they look like on the inside, and bring that outside.
So Faye actually says like, but isn't the point of masks to become someone else?
It can be, yes. And I have been known to take special requests for folks who want to perhaps take on a visage that is not their own. Is that what you seek?
Oh, asking the hard questions. I was like, oh, it's a frivolous happy. Oh no. Damn. Let's look at some beliefs here, because maybe that came out of nowhere. I did not see that one coming. Let me think.
Sorry. Take your time.
Do you have advice for me, Thunderbolt?
You know, you could see if she's taking on an apprentice. If this is something you're interested in.
I think Faye actually asks a very difficult question. I think Faye says, I've always wanted to make masks, but I thought it was really hard. I thought it would take very long to learn how. She looks at Thunderbolt almost sad and says, like, I don't know how long I have to stay here. I always assumed that I was always going back home.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Sometimes you don't have time to pursue something, and so you pursue it later.
What do you mean?
Maybe you could learn a little bit about, like, get some advice about mask making, how to start out on your own for when you get back home.
Oh, sort of like a lesson.
Yeah.
All right. I think I would really like that. So I think I turn to the shopkeep and I say, Sunbrook, would you be willing to give me a lesson?
Oh, yes, I would be delighted to give you a lesson. I haven't thought about teaching people before. Always.
Well, considering that the mediator spoke so highly of you, I say with a capital M, I'm shocked that other people have not sought you out. It seems like if you're one of the best and known for it, certainly you would have people competing for your knowledge.
Oh, gosh. Well, it's very kind of the mediator to speak so highly of me, but recently, I have become less and less known around this place.
What's that?
There is, I think it's called a factory. There's a building that, and I really don't wish to speak ill of them. It's just, I've seen similarities between what they make and what I sell. And they're flashier, yes, but they lack heart. And it's been rather hard to get by with them around.
Well, I'm guessing that every mask you make is one of a kind.
I like to think so, yes. But
from what I understand of factories, they just make a lot of the same stuff.
yes, that is how I feel the exact same way, and yet people seem to find them much more appealing.
Why?
And well, I guess they're a little bit cheaper. I really feel like I'm being mean here, but they're a bit cheaper. I think the quality's not as great from what I've seen, but again, this I would not dare speak ill of them per se. But
well, then there's only one solution.
which is?
You gotta hold a contest to see which one of you is best.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. That sounds very boastful.
I'm not sure. It's like a competition, right? Like, if you do a science experiment, then, you know, you have people that are experienced and come by and judge it. I mean, who's, like, all important and fancy and everybody wants to dress like them around here?
Now you mentioned it. Yes, a bit of healthy competition will be fine. Could I please, in exchange for these lessons, perhaps petition you to speak to the people of the factory and see if they would agree to a competition?
Well, that sounds like a good deal. I can try.
Excellent. Oh, thank you very much. I can give you directions, but I have not been there myself. I just know where it is.
Faye very dramatically pulls her backpack around, opens it up, pulls out a notebook, gets out a pencil, takes a couple seconds to sharpen it, puts the sharpener back in, then gets ready to take notes for this map, because now I have my backpack.
That's amazing. Should we cut there to see what Bima and Gia are up to while this is going down?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
That's okay.
I mean, Bima is stealing delicious food because... Bima and Gia are stealing delicious food because that's the... I think Bima is like, all right, this is the plan. I know you can do cool stuff with paper. So she like pulls out a sheet of paper that clearly she did not have 10 minutes ago, and she's still on route, and she goes, can you make this like into a little bird or something to distract that vendor over there, because their food smells the most delicious.
Oh, like of course. What kind of bed do you like? I can do like eagles, I can do owls, I can do a chicken.
Chicken's good. Let's do a chicken.
Excellent. And then I think she like okay, this might be a bit gross. Let's see how it goes. I think she like her pages like flutter and stuff, and I think likewise starts to spark a bit with like purple and like sort of just a pirouette around, and I think like from the paper drops like an egg, but it's like it's not like a smooth round egg. It's like very it has like a lot of like flat edges that sort of make it up an oval, and then it like tears open as opposed to cracking, and then like this paper chicken with like
Whoa.
a little.
Not what I was expecting when you said you could make a chicken. I was origami maybe, but wow. I think.
Oh yeah, that's how chickens are made, right? They have eggs. I mean, all the stories that I've read, that's how they happen.
Sure, I just never thought about laying eggs myself.
I can do anything.
Apparently. Okay, here's the deal. You're gonna distract the vendor, and I'm gonna make with the delicious. So, I think I'm gonna try and steal. Wait, do I have a move for stealing stuff? I'm pretty sure I have a move for stealing. Do I?
If you don't, I feel like that we need to make one.
When you seek a location's hidden treasures, is that a thing?
I think that counts. Yeah.
No, it doesn't allow me to acquire it.
Oh.
It's just to find something that I want. I think we just let the GM make a move, right? I think Bima just steals some food, and then I say, then what? And if the answer is they catch us, then there's no time for tea. Then we're running.
We could also do run wild when you use your senses to track something, and just
I mean, I assume that was fine with the food.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is the most delicious smell here is not a hard sense to track.
No, that's great. Yeah. So yeah, I think we see Bima like steal this food, and then it's like the oh, you know, it's like it's gonna be like a kind of scary looking sort of like rotund chef, who has like two heads and has like a big cleaver, and then they're like sort of hucking fish.
Oh, not two cleavers? All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean maybe it's two cleavers. And they're like sort of hucking fish and stuff, and then like there's like the exchange between Gia and like the chefs and like the paper chicken, and then I think the second one catches a look at Bima, and it's like, oh what, and it's like the sort of loud.
I think Bima shoves two bowls into Gia's hands and says congratulations, you're an accomplice, and then like does like a backflip, and then like leaps up and like sits on one of the poles and goes, this is the best part of stealing. It's the part where you run. And then she looks at the chef and goes, I stole your food, come get me. And then like bounces like a cat along like the stalls to lead him away.
That's adorable.
Cool. Let me, one sec. Boop. I have Roll20 up, so let me do the thing.
Sweet.
Go ahead.
Some kid read this book when they were a kid and then decided to shoplift for the first time and ran past some store clerk at a mall and was like, I stole the thing, come get me. And they were like, yeah, that's not how it works in the real world.
7. That's not the worst.
That's a lot better than last time.
On a 7+, how do you lead everyone to Sanctuary of Freedom? On a 7 to 9, also ask the guide, how will the people here remember me?
Oh yeah, I know. The greatest thief that ever was.
Yes, my reputation only grows. But yeah, I think the story is exactly as planned, right? Like I lead the double cleavered chef for a little bit. And then, I think actually I probably try to get the two heads to argue and then vanish.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
That is very good. They kind of end like arguing with each other and like, yeah.
you know, starts with, "Oh, if only that other head wasn't pulling you in the opposite direction, you would have caught me already."
I love it. I think Gia like is just giggling and like flying around you is like with those like bowls of food.
No, you're supposed to run the other direction. I'll catch up. You gotta make away with the booty. Have you not done this? Oh, right, you haven't done this before.
It's like, but I'm having so much fun running around with you. I don't want to do it by myself.
Yeah, I think Bima's definitely teaching her like later, like, okay, the best part of this food is the goopy stuff. So you get the bread, and then you dip it in like this, and then yeah.
And it's very good. Gia follows like to the T. Like it's like very into like almost like, oh my god, like I'm learning things practically and like this is amazing. I'm just reading about it in stories.
Yeah, Bima's not much for stories. Yeah.
I think Gia is like, you know what, while you're like eating, it's like people should write stories about you though.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Why? Who wouldn't want to hear like the dashing, like daring stories of Bima the thief without a shadow? That sounds very exciting. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
I think Bima says, it's okay, it's true. And then she just keeps eating her bowl.
Oh, I think like Gia goes back to like eating a little bit slower and it's like, oh no, like I've done. What is the turn of phrase? Like to put one's foot in one's mouth, but it's bread instead. But I'm doing, oh no.
Put one's bread in one's mouth. Yes. I think this is a good place to cut.
Yeah, to me, it's this where Thunderbolt and like Faye kind of stumble upon like the soup bread shenanigans as they're winding down.
Oh, you're muted, Judd.
You're muted, Judd.
Doing that all night tonight. Thank you. I think he's telling Faye the story of mediating between the wolf and the lion, and he's like, so that's why when you are talking to two predators, you should always be polite, but not too polite, because then they think you're prey.
How do you know what is too polite?
That's a really you ask good questions, Faye. I don't know. You're there in the moment. It's like the difference between saying thank you, which is nice, and being a doormat, which is too nice, maybe.
I think Gia over here is like, but she's not a doormat. She's a girl.
I didn't say she was a doormat. I said sometimes, in an effort to be polite, someone could do an imitation of a doormat.
Oh, that's
But not
hilarious.
Faye's clearly not a doormat. She just faced down Rumplepuss in a mediation. Capital M.
This is a thing
Oh,
we're doing now.
That sounds very scary and serious. Says Gia.
Yeah, it was.
Are you okay? Are you okay, Faye?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go to a factory and see if I can convince them to have a competition. She turns around and looks at Thunderbolt, cueing a move, and says, so Thunderbolt, who's the fanciest person around here? If you're gonna have a masquerade ball, who are you gonna invite to go to it, right?
Yeah. It would be the Raven the Crowing King's fancy brother.
Oh.
Yeah. Archduke Peacock.
And he lives near the bazaar, I take it?
He is fabulous, and he does live near the bazaar.
Okay.
Oh,
Or he-
people.
Or he has an apartment near here, I hear.
An apartment and not a condominium? Says Faye, having heard her parents argue about something of the like.
I never really understood the difference between the two of those things.
She confides. Okay. Look, can we go and see if we can find the condominium of the fabulous did you say
definitely.
Archduke Peacock?
Archduke Peacock.
Yes. Yes. Sure. Should I do the
Oh yeah, you named
horse's
it.
mouth? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the horse's mouth again. 2d6 or 3d6 if the belief applies.
I mean,
Sometimes a
okay.
lie.
Here's the thing: a belief definitely applies. We are trying to do the right thing. We are trying to help. I forgot her. I forgot their name.
Oh, Sunbrook.
Sunbrook. There we go. I was like
Yeah.
Sunbeam. No, Sunbrook. Hang on, I'm gonna write that in big letters here so I don't forget. But yes, I think that we are perfect. I think that we are definitely trying to help Sunbrook, and we're trying to do the right thing. So, besides, competition's nice.
Cool. Awesome. Let's do it. 3d6. 7.
How did you annoy them on your last encounter?
Oh, yeah.
I still do it, and it's really bad. But I mispronounced their name.
Oh no.
It's supposed to be Archduke Pecoque.
Thank you, Jed.
That's amazing.
All right.
Archduke Pecoque. Nice. I better write that down.
I spelled it in the chat.
Nice.
And yeah, I just keep calling him Archduke Peacock. And I don't think he's corrected me, because otherwise I would have stopped. But it annoys him.
Oh, for sure. Excellent. Ooh. And what do we see outside of this condominium to know that it's like an archduke or like really important royal person's property? Like what have they done to sort of mark their place as their own?
Yeah. I think it's a different palette of colors than we've seen in the bazaar. I think it's like the rest of the bazaar looks like something out of like a European fairy tale, and then the Archduke's place looks like something out of the Caribbean. You know, like it's just those kinds of colors. It's bright and it's stucco and it has different trees than the rest of this place, and it just looks very, very different.
Excellent. How do you announce yourself at the front door of the Archduke Pecoque's establishment?
Is there a gate or a door with a knocker? What's the scenario?
Oh,
here?
you know what it is? Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's like it's a door that's in the style as described, and then I think like outside there's like a peacock feather with like a pull bell, so you can sort of like, and then it'll like sort of jangle to sort of announce that someone's there.
That is clearly
Nice.
what we're gonna have to do.
And if you pull the thing, like ring the bell, I think like oh yeah, like someone comes to like greet you at the door, and they look kind of like peafowl, like sort of very demure colors that evoke a sense of like feathers, sort of like slicked back hair, very prim and proper. And they're like, they open the door and they're like, yes, hello, who am I speaking to?
Oh hi, my name's Faye, and this is Thunderbolt, and my friends Bima and Gia, and we're here to talk to the Archduke. What is the proper form of address of an Archduke?
I think it's your archiness, clearly.
Their archiness. We're here to speak to.
You get like the sort of down the nose, like, quiet. And what business is it that you were here to speak to the Archduke about?
Oh, we want them to have a party to showcase how awesome they are and have a mask made for them.
And I think like from the background you hear like, a party!
Yes. I thought that might work.
How splendiferous! And then I think like names, and then like I think you hear the Archduke like approaching closer, And much in the same tone as they're like, "Oh, like Aegon, please, like step aside." And then Aegon's like, "Yes, Archduke Pakok." And then like the Archduke, their door opens like the full width open, and then I think it's this person with like very broad shoulders, peacock colors, like sort of gold tassels everywhere. They have like a magnificent headpiece. And I think they even have kind of like fanned peacock feathers like behind them, always like sort of framing them in the back. And they're like, "Oh, I do apologize for eavesdropping, but I heard there was a party."
Yeah. We wanted to set up a little bit of a masquerade and have a competition.
"Oh, a masquerade in my honor. Why, I am just so flattered."
Good. That was the plan. They
Excellent.
gives thumbs up to everybody else.
I was just hoping someone would throw a party around here. It was getting a little bit dull. And then I think like then sees like Thunderbolt and is like, "Oh, are you also organizing this party?"
I'm not much of an organizer. I'm more of a doer or a talker.
Quite.
Yeah.
Gia, how are you at organizing?
And G is like, well, I mean, I've read lots of books on organizing, and I think
Perfect.
Archduke Pakok is like, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I just don't know if I can have a party hosted by people who are, I do not mean offense by this, but unprofessional. And it says that you don't have professional
who's a
system.
professional organizer?
Oh, then you should have the correct paperwork that says as such. Of course. If you just present that, then it'll be fine.
Paperwork. Who has the paperwork?
Wait. Archduke, come on now. Like, we're trying to get this thing, and we're running over to see you, and now we're gonna have to run over and get a party planner. It's a lot of running that we're doing.
That does sound, pardon me, but much of a you problem and not much of a me problem.
Right, but wouldn't it be daring? Wouldn't everyone say the Archduke is so daring for going with a first-time party group and taking a chance?
It sounds like you're trying to talk your way out of a problem, perhaps.
Yep,
Damn,
we sure
yeah.
are. Is there a move for this? I do not actually
There
know.
is.
I do.
Roll tongue-tied. Roll when you try to talk your way out of a problem, trap, or puzzle. Is there a belief that applies to the situation?
I mean, we are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, should we stick with the right thing? We doing
Yeah,
that?
let's do the right thing.
I mean, we are still on the same quest, and we are trying to help Sunbrook. See, I remember the
Nice. I killed it. I got 11.
name.
Heck
Yeah.
yes. Okay, let's.
Yeah, and I think he corrects himself. He's like, did I hear your door guy say Archduke Pakok? I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I'm really sorry. That's terrible. Why didn't someone correct me? Anyway, Archduke Pakok, I mean, you could take a chance on some rookie party people who have a lot of passion and pluck.
I think like the Archduke like fans himself a bit like with their feathers and like you know what? That's right. I could be a bigger trendsetter even than Sunbrook if I took a gamble on the up and coming party planners that I see before me. Of course, that's silly of
And
me.
Sunbrook agreed to do your mask.
She did? I've been trying for years to get her to make a mask for me. How fabulous. Yes, I shall wear this mask at the party.
Great. Just one person left to go and see then.
Why, yes, is there anything else? Is there anything I can do to help you on
Yes,
on your
actually.
organizing?
Do you happen to have a bunch of sheets of paper?
Yes. Of course, I shall have Aegon bring them to you post haste.
Acorn?
Aegon like sort of snaps fingers, and then Aegon, I think like from out of nowhere, just like pulls a stack of paper. It's like
Fake house, thank you very much. I'll make sure that there are signs, and then
I think like the Archduke like sort of chatters with Acorn as the door shuts. Like, oh, what? That's such strange, lovely people. I don't know the paper for. I don't know. And then the like, door closes. And then,
oh, hang on. I think Faye,
Oh, yeah.
Faye writes a letter, and then like folds it up, and then like seals it, and then marches over to where the factory is, and then and in my mind it's very Dickensian, right? Like belching smoke, red brick.
oh yeah, totally.
Because clearly there's belching smoke when you're making masks.
yes.
But I think she marches up to the front door and doesn't bother knocking. She simply puts the letter that challenges them to a mask duel at the upcoming party, and then nods at it as if it's like a done deal. And you know, she's like, all right, I guess we just gotta put up a bunch of signs saying there's gonna be a fancy party somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I think, ooh, yeah. As you like turn on your heel, having like put the litter in, like, yes, like, good stuff. I think like you see a crow, on like a lamppost, that was on the way up to like the factory, and it sort of cocks a very beady eye at you, and you're just like,
Hello, bird.
Hi. Good evening. Strange seeing flesh and blood around these parts.
Like, completely honestly, Faye looks at Thunderbolt and goes, do all the animals talk around here?
I mean, some are shy.
Oh, I see. She turns around, looks back at the crow, and says, we're having a bit of a party. Do you want to go?
Well, I think the crow is like, no, I must stay watch
Why?
and guard this place. Well, there's a lot of precious things inside this factory.
Bima says, precious things? Like what?
Oh, there's plenty of fabulous masks I'm sure you've seen around the place. There's,
I hear sunbrooks are better.
You would hear that. But no, these are fine craftsmanship.
I hear they're cheap.
Well, you could always see for yourself and not listen to American Conjecture.
What do you think, Thunderbolt?
I don't know. I guess we should take a look.
I guess that's true.
Wow. I'm not stopping you.
Aren't you supposed to guard this place? Isn't your job literally to stop us?
Well, I did not say what I was guarding from.
Oh. What are you guarding from?
I think that is for me to know. And for you to never find out.
What a strange bird. I'm going inside now.
And I think the doors like creak open, and I think as you do, like you sort of get that sort of factory heat kind of like coming out.
Whoa.
And there's like a little sort of foreman's office, and there's like a door behind the little like desk out front, and
Nice.
you can kind of see gushes of like heat or fire from like behind there. Periodically every now and then. And I think there's a mechanical looking person at the front who's like face height, has face cropped hair, and smiles as the group of you enter.
Cool.
And-
I think as we're walking in, Thunderbolt's saying he's just jealous because ravens are smarter. That's the whole problem with crows.
And this mechanical person at the front says in a voice very quiet, much like an old book, "Oh, we have visitors." Maybe we should take a break there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's been going for about an hour, so it's time to refresh tea and
True facts. All right, folks,
That's
stick
all good.
around. Actually, I got a little surprise again. One sec. Let me get our timer and everything set up. All right,
oh, sorry, I
folks,
did not prepare.
it is totally okay. It's on me. Stick around, folks. We'll be back here
Yes.
just in a couple of minutes. We're just gonna make some more tea. So, all right.
It's always time for tea.